you've got to stop the growth in spending. And so I think that's bringing people home. I feel very good that the Republican Party will be unified. In fact, they did a poll statewide. So there's 6 statewide office holders in Kansas. Okay, there's the governor, lieutenant governor, there's the insurance commissioner, the attorney general, the state treasurer, and the secretary of state. There's 6 people elected statewide in Kansas. Of those 6 right now, 5 of them are Democrats. None of them were elected to their posts. All 5 of them were appointed or succeeded someone who resigned from office. It's pretty rare to have 5 out of 6 be appointed, not elected, and 5 out of 6 be Democrat. Of those 6 statewide, a recent Survey USA poll came out, and every single one of those races, except for one, the Republican is up 30 points, like 60 to 30. And the one that they're not up 30 points, they're up 20 points. And so Republicans in Kansas are probably going to have one of the strongest years in many, many, many years. And so I think your question about divisiveness, it's always there. You know, you infight with your own family sometimes more than you do with the other side. And so we have a contentious primary, we battle about the issues, and then we come together in the fall, we're unified, and a unified Republican Party does not lose in Kansas. Democratic candidates cannot win without getting all the Democrats, independents, and some of the Republicans. The Republican Party is the largest party, the unaffiliated is the second largest party, and the Democratic Party is actually the 3rd biggest party. So they need a lot of help. As long as Republicans stick together and work together, we're going to win these races. And the issues are too important this election for us to infight, to allow Democrats who completely disagree with these issues to get reelected back to Congress. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't have a policy question, but I worked on Nick Jordan's campaign in 2008, and I know they did like a kind of debate type thing at Johnson County Community College in the fall.
Right.
And I was just wondering if you were going to do something like that with Stephanie Moore this fall, kind of just a thing that the public can come and view. It's kind of like a head-to-head debate thing. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely, like yeah. We've actually challenged Mrs. Moore to 6 debates shortly after the election. We've not received a response yet, so it's been about 3 weeks. You remember, for those of you who live in the Johnson County area, Dennis Moore, the U.S. Congressman last year, remember when the Obamacare thing was going on and all the congressmen were out talking to their constituents, and there were some town hall meetings that got a little bit loud and around the country? He refused to do them. And so it's been a number of years since the voters of this district have had a chance just to come to a forum and hear from their elected official. And so we've asked Stephanie Moore, since at that time we had 12 weeks until the election, if we could do 6 debates, 1 every other week, as an opportunity to debate the issues. I think there are very clear distinctions in this election. I think we ought to be very clear about where we stand, have an opportunity to debate those issues in front of as many people that are willing to come. And so we said, we'll debate as many times as you want. How about we pick 6, 1 every other week? We've not had any response to those, and I know that the debate organizers are really trying to get the Moore campaign to agree to some of them. We have agreed to 1 here at KU. I think it's on September 27th, maybe, right here in Lawrence. And so we'll do 1, I think, maybe at the Dole Center or somewhere where students can come out and hear the debate and hear the distinctions between the candidates. We have agreed to 1 at the community college. I know that Ms. Moore has not agreed to that one yet. There are several others we've agreed. We've agreed to a chamber debate. We've agreed to a debate in Wyandotte County. And so we're going to be as many places as people will have us, and we're going to debate. And if we have to debate an empty chair, we'll do that.
Yeah, because I remember actually Dennis Moore, he declined several times before they could finally get 1 debate, and I think it was the only one they had.
Right.
They just didn't want to debate the issues, so.
Right.
But yeah, no, that would be great.
Good. Yeah. Excellent. Yes, ma'am.
I was pretty excited recently to find out that Sarah Palin's going to be in Overland Park on the 13th, and I was wondering if you were going to go to that event and if you'd be lucky enough to get her endorsement or support for your campaign.
You know, we haven't had any contact with the Palin campaign. I've heard about that event. I don't think we intend to go. You know, there will be a lot of Republican officials that come through this area, but we don't have any connection or contact to the Palin campaign. Yes, sir.
In regards to unemployment, I know how you talked about how you want to solve the issue, but what's your stance on the people who are inevitably unemployed to help the people who are unemployed and can't necessarily find a job?
Well, I think the number 1 thing we can do for them is get the private economy going, because I've talked to a lot of those people out on the campaign trail. They just want a job, right, more than anything. They want to get back to work, and that work equates to their health care benefits, because when you lose your job, you end up losing your health care as well, and so they want to just get back to work. But we do have the largest amount of extended benefits, I think, in U.S. history now. It used to be 26 weeks or 27 weeks. We're now up to 99 weeks of benefits. I think Congress just extended it again. So my focus would be, I mean, Congress is working on that issue in terms of benefit side for unemployment. benefits, but my focus would be on, how do we help small business owners get those folks back to work?
And we'll do 2 more questions.
What would you say to people out on the campaign trail who are kind of wary of giving Republicans back the power that they think they abused when they were in the first time with spending? I know it's a Republican issue now to cut spending, but that's not what they were when they were in power.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons Republicans lost power in Washington, because they sort of became Democratic Party light in many regards. They spent a lot of money, they did a lot of new social programs, they did a lot of new government growth, a lot of new agencies. And so I think the Republican Party tried too hard to please everyone, when in reality what people really want is a government that lives within its means. I can't find anyone, I'll ask people here, who thinks the government should spend as much as they want, regardless of how much money they have? Yet that's what both parties have really been doing in Washington. And that's why I think you've seen a lot of people really actively getting engaged. That's why you saw 9 people running for this seat. People are fed up in both parties. You're seeing incumbents get beat all across the country, Democratic incumbents, Republican incumbents. People are really wanting to just clean out Washington and start fresh. And so our campaign is one in which we think we deserve a shot to be that fresh voice. And it's not just because we're a Republican or because of any party, but because we're going to go to Washington and we're going to live up to that. And frankly, if the people that get elected this time, if I'm fortunate to be one of them, we don't go and cut spending, we don't go and rein in government, then maybe we don't deserve to go back again. Because we have too many people who go to Washington who say one thing and when they get there do another. And I think that's why the Republican Party lost power. But I don't think what people wanted when they voted out the Republicans wanted greater deficit spending and greater government growth. What they wanted was a party that actually would contain spending. And they were frustrated with the Republican Party because they weren't doing it either. So I think the Republican Party gets back to that, they'll keep the majority. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have a bit of a personal question, but I read a lot of political blogs, and I read something about an ethics inquiry over disclosure. Was there any merit to that?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay.
Yep. I've never had any ethics problems since I've been in the legislature for 8 years. So none whatsoever.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about wanting to stop the spending. What specific entitlements would you cut, or what would you cut from the budget?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is stop the growth in spending. In Kansas this year, I was in the legislature, and we heard a lot about all the devastating cuts and how it's going to affect every part of the state. And at the end of the day, in the legislature, we actually grew spending by almost 4%. Okay? I don't think people are looking for government growth. And the deficit and the government growth in Washington right now is staggering. So I think if they could just freeze spending, stop growing it, stop creating new programs. I mean, the current administration's created tons of new programs and starting new agencies. All that's adding to the amount of federal employees and the amount of federal workforce that we have to fund. I think we need a hiring freeze. I don't think we should continue to hire folks. We can't even get a hiring freeze in Kansas yet. I think we need one in Washington. I think government has to stop growing and hiring people, just like the private sector does, just like families have to do. Everyone else is constrained the budget except for government. So I think if they could just stop growing it, that would be a great first step. So. Alrighty, this is my wife Brooke. Anyone who wants to meet her, and thanks for having us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You.
All right. And again, Eric's going to pass something out for people to sign. JJ's going to handle this?
Yeah. Sorry, at the back of the room.
You want to talk to JJ about?
My name is JJ Seiler. I'm Katie Grad. I just graduated in May. And if you guys are interested in getting involved in the campaign, we just opened our Lawrence office up at 8th and Vermont. It's very, very nice. We have an event on September 8th, a grand opening at 5 p.m., and you're all invited to come to the meeting, or to the party, basically. We would love for you to come see it, see if you want to come volunteer. We would love to get you all signed up. If you've written your name down on the papers that we've been passing around on that clipboard, I'll be the one getting in contact with you. I'm the volunteer coordinator, so it's not going to be some random person. I'll be giving you a call, so you know it's me on the other end when I'm calling you. So yeah, let us know if you're interested in volunteering. My information, you can call the office line on there, or I can just get in touch with you, and we'll talk about your availability. But we would love to have you in the office whenever you're available. We're planning to run the phone bank, hopefully for 6 days a week. So anytime you've got free, maybe for an hour or two, we'd love for you to come in and make some phone calls and help Kevin the rest of the campaign get to Washington and accomplish the goals that we've set for ourselves. So thank you very much, and yeah, we'll let them carry on with the meeting.
Thanks, Kevin.
you.